Okay, I am live. We are doing another episode of RKCM, the first ever back to back. And I am just waiting on the co host, Charles, Kudzi, and Michael, to hop online. We just got through doing another episode where we talked about a few different topics. If you guys missed it, be sure to check it out on the RHTV Podcast Network. Yeah, these topics that we're going to have today, once everybody's in the chat, the co-host that is, we will start discussing the topics. So I'm waiting to have the guys come in and make sure that they're good there. So just waiting to make sure everybody's in on the live, make sure that we're good. And 1 second. So we're just waiting for Charles to hop in. And once Charles hops in live, be good to go. Kudzi, Michael, can you hear me? Kudzi, Michael, can you hear me? Okay. Kudzi, Michael, can you hear me? I don't think.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, sounds good. All right, sounds good. We're just waiting on Charles now because the connection's been a little faulty today. So we're just trying to make sure everything is good. So yeah, we're just waiting. Second. And just having a little bit of a technical issue here. Okay. 1 second. Let me see. Okay. Still waiting for Charles to come back in. It's just a technical issue. But 1 second.
No, Charles, we can't hear you.
Yeah, we can't hear you, man. But you know what? Let's go right back into it. Let's get right back into the episode. So, on this particular episode, we're going to start with the topics, and then we'll have Charles come in and he'll chime in. So on the last episode, we talked about a lot of things. For you guys who have missed it, be sure to check out our previous episodes. This is episode number 3. And of course, on these particular episodes of RKCM, we talk about some very, very deep topics. We talk about adulthood. We talk about youths. We talk about, personality traits, attention seeking, all of these different things. So listeners' discretion is advised. When it comes down to today's topic, the first question is the world becoming too sensitive? And I am going to open the floor up to Michael and Kudzi. Is the world becoming too sensitive? Michael, Kudzi, the floor is yours.
Yeah, I believe the world is becoming sensitive, considering that.
I think I'm here now. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. We can hear you, Charles.
Don't tell me you guys started without me. Don't tell me you guys started without me, guys.
Did you literally not just join in while we were in the middle of talking without you?
No, it's okay.
It's okay.
It's okay.
So you guys were having technical issues.
No, it's okay.
I'm just joking. You see,
no, it's okay.
This is what we're talking about.
Kudzi,
The world is becoming way too sensitive. Why are you so caught up about missing a few sentences, Charles?
Okay, sounds good. Okay, so let's keep it light, please. So yes, Charles, we are starting, but you can chime in on the topic is the world becoming too sensitive? And we'll start things off with Kudzi, and then we'll go from there.
Yeah, with Kudzi, yeah. So yeah, like I was saying, I believe the world is indeed becoming more sensitive. Because if we look at or should I say the current generation, and the generation before Gen Z, people in the past didn't really have they didn't really have that much sensitivity. People now react to a lot of things. It's the slightest joke, the slightest comedy could even lead to someone getting sued. I'm not sure if you agree on that.
Mm-hmm. Because I agree, because right now, someone who can be offended by referring to them as a he or a she, and they prefer to be pronounced as probably he, them, or whatever they. So I feel like there are a lot of things that can trigger the word right now. So yes, I do agree that the word is pretty sensitive as of now.
Michael, your thoughts?
Uh, well, not to use this as an example, but literally, some people just can't take a joke, or maybe, but I think it actually comes in two ways, because there are people who are very emotionally sensitive who can't take a joke, or who think that things are escalating way too quickly when you think you're just playing. So, in the sense that things like cancel culture and all people who can't take jokes, sometimes it just takes a bit of level-headedness to actually analyze the situation. No, am I being too sensitive about this, or is it just plain disrespect? So the world is becoming too sensitive in ways that things like cancel culture, like anything and everything that you might say, like if I say that, I'm gonna give an example of saying light skins are toxic, or dark skins just more masculine. That doesn't make any sense. Like, you're literally stereotyping, and the person is going to come off and be like, "Hey, no, bro. I don't like the way you're talking about black people. I don't like the way you're talking about this. I don't like, bro. It was just a general statement. Like, some things you're not supposed to take too serious. Now, if I was an activist saying that, like something, let's say the most obvious one. These days, a lot of males, they look at a woman drive and then they're like, typical woman, you're gonna mess up somehow. But that's just not the case. You can look up Formula One drivers that can drive. If that person is actually a womanizer or sexist, and was pushing against that, then we can say, yeah, maybe this person is taking it way too far. But some things you just have to read the situation. So, is the world becoming too sensitive? In a lot of cases, yeah.
Thank you, Kudzi, Michael, and Charles. I really appreciate that. So we can keep on time. I will say, yes, I agree that the world is becoming too sensitive, but I'm going to go a step further and say that I feel like the world, when we say the world, we're talking about, I don't want to say the world, because I know that there's a lot of people out there that this topic or this particular situation doesn't pertain to. And the situation I'm talking about is entitlement. I feel like a lot of people feel like they're entitled to be in control of how someone else has made them feel. And that's their feelings. This is their life. But I will say this. I've known a lot of cases where a person will be entitled, let a person know you have offended them. And next thing you know, this particular person who has been quote unquote offended, they lose a lot of the friends that they used to have. They lose a lot of the opportunities that they used to have. See, their main goal was to make this person who offended them feel low. But what a lot of people don't talk about is what got that person who was offended, or as we would like to say, too sensitive, to that low point to where they're trying to bring somebody else down. So my thing is this. If somebody ever offends me, I'll let you know, hey, man, you know what you just said was, what did you mean by that? I would always ask, hey, what did you mean by that? And if they start elaborating and letting it be known that they were trying to blatantly disrespect me, I don't want nothing to do with you. But I know that there's other people to where somebody offends them and they want the whole entire world to cancel this person, want the whole entire world to look at this person as a negative entity or as a negative being. And I feel like that is wrong. Unless this person, and excuse my French, has raped you, pillaged you, murdered someone, done something that is diabolically inhumane, I wouldn't want nothing to do with that person either. But I'm talking about when somebody says a joke, when somebody says a statement and it offends you. I'm a person aware if somebody offends me and I actually know that that's what their intentions were, I don't want nothing to do with you because you have made it clear that you are trying to offend me purposely, bring me down to your inhumane, toxic level. And therefore, with me being in control of my life, I don't want nothing to do with you. But for those people who are easily offended, my best advice, do not try to interact with other human beings until you know that, hey, there's a possibility that because I'm in this state, there is a possibility that somebody's going to offend me any way possible. Just because I know for a fact that I'm just an easily offended person. So you can't be mad if you're calling out, oh, this person offended me by doing this. This person offended me by doing that. And now all of these people that offended you don't want nothing to do with you anymore because you have created that environment for yourself. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying that's a life that you've created because you, knowing that you're overly sensitive, knowing that you can't tolerate a lot of things that a lot of people can, you put yourself out there in the world like that and you have to suffer the consequences. Like I said, I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but it is a lifestyle that you have accepted and created yourself. So all in all, that's my take on, is the world becoming too sensitive? I'll go a step further, like I said earlier, and say I believe the world is becoming more entitled. And with entitlement comes unfortunate consequences at times. That's all I have to say on that subject matter. Thank you.
All right, that makes sense. I agree with what you're saying.
Any other rebuttals, any comments based off of that topic or that subject matter, guys?
No, I'm good.
Yeah. But Kudzi wants to say something though.
So,
Here you go, Kudzi.
yeah, Michael's just playing around. But yeah, on the world becoming too sensitive. Yeah. We basically see a lot of things. And there's a lot of differences between the current era and the previous one. Where, let me give an example of a comedian. I'm not sure if I can say his name, considering copyright laws or something like that. But his name is Dave Chappelle. He makes a lot of jokes, or made a lot of jokes about race, and genuinely black and white people found them funny. So back then, they found it funny whenever he made these jokes. But currently, if anyone else tried the same thing, they would react otherwise. So I would say there's been quite the change within time. The world has become sensitive.
Thank you so much, Kuds. And for all those people who have tuned in live on another episode of RKCM, we really appreciate you guys who are listening live and on the pre-recorded version. And also those who are listening on other platforms, on the audio platforms that are out there. We appreciate all the support for you guys being a big part of the RHTV podcast family. Moving on to the next topic is oh my goodness, why do so many Africans want to leave Africa? I'm gonna leave this up to you guys. Charles, Michael, Kudzi, you guys can take the floor.
All right.
To be honest, I see it as people seeing opportunity, or at least maybe a change in environment. Those could be the two factors that, you know, are within the African people's minds. I mean, myself, I'm African, but I'm just gonna put myself on the side for a second and just talk from a different perspective. The way I see it is, the people are trying to chase career opportunities, and yeah, that's basically it. That's what they're trying to do.
Okay, I too agree with Kudzi. Why? Because what I feel like we as Africans do not notice is that here in Africa is where it is, and by it I'm referring to everything. I'm referring to everything that an individual needs to actually make it. Right? We do not identify that, and that's why we have everyone else who's not African coming here. But then the issue comes when we do not know how to use our own resources. We have the resources, but then we do not know how to use our resources. So what do? We go to people who have already established their foothold and try to just build up from there. We go work for them and just hope someday we have a breakthrough and it all works out. But then we are failing. The reason why we are leaving Africa is because we lack the knowledge to know that everything we need is here in Africa, is here at home. That's why we are literally swapping places with everyone else who's not African coming to Africa, and we are going there. They have exhausted everything that they could ever extract from maybe their ground or anywhere. But then we're still going there. Why? Because we are attracted to the small opportunities and the career paths that they produce or that they provide. Why? Because probably they are more advanced when it comes to technological and other aspects. But then at the end of the day, if you are to actually make it, you'd notice that you need to be in Africa. You need to be here at home. But then we do not see that. That's the reason why most Africans are leaving Africa. It's because they do not have the knowledge to know that Africa is the real deal.
Thank you, Charles. Michael, anything?
That's actually, well, I what can I read? I'm trying to find the right words to articulate this. It feels like what we've been talking about mostly sounds kind of political, but I'd just like to say that for the most part, I think, yeah, people feel like they feel oppressed in countries, right? They feel like the democracy can't be seen anymore. It doesn't feel like I have the freedom of will anymore. So when I see people on social media talking about we've got free will in America. You can do what you want in the UK. You can do this in Australia. And then I compare my life in Africa and I'm like, wow, you can do that? But when you get there, you don't see the types of oppressions that the people over there. So it feels like more of a you problem. Like you can't handle the problems in your own home. So you feel like the problems somewhere else are better than yours, but you don't know the other country. So I feel like, yeah, what Charles is saying, that's on point. On
Yeah,
point.
Africa is the real deal, guys. I'm telling you. But then we just don't see it. Most of us don't see that Africa is the real deal. And we want to go abroad.
Well said, guys. I mean, I can't. I don't feel like I can touch on this because I wasn't born in Africa. So unless someone has a question, I don't really have anything. I will, however, say, Kuds, Michael, can you guys keep the camera off so that way we can keep it to where it's just audio only, please. So when people watch this pre-recorded version, they'll just see our profile pictures. Any other comments pertaining to this topic of why do so many Africans want to leave Africa?
None from this side.
Okay.
None on my side.
Sounds good. All right. The next question is the Western culture diluting Africa? Michael, Kudzi, Charles, the floor is yours.
Mm-hmm. Yes. I will firmly say yes. Not that I like it, not that I like the way it's going, but I'll firmly say yes. Why? Because you turn left, you see something that is not of our culture, something that represents someone else's culture. So yes, it is the sad truth. You might not want it to be the truth, but then it is what it is. It is diluting everything we believe in. You have sacred rituals or the way we did things changing because we want to suit whatever someone else believes in. Like for example, you have marriage rituals. We had a way of doing things until the Western culture came and in, we basically shifted from the way we did it to now doing it the way they did it. So therefore, I do believe so. We are getting diluted 100% because you look left, you see Western. You look right, you see Western.
Thank you, Charles. Kudzi, Michael, any thoughts?
No. I think Charles did everything.
Well, I do actually. I kind of like. I'm gonna just add on to Charles's point. It is becoming this thing where it's actually kind of embarrassing, right? Even if you listen to the music nowadays,
Yeah, yeah,
they actually have a genre now. They imitate everything that the Western culture has. Like
yeah.
if you look at an artist like Oliver Mtukudzi, he did his love and he also pushed it. He pushed it. And even to this day, you can find people in the UK, listening to
Yes.
Oliver Mtukudzi. See the originality over there. It
And
speaks
they used to come
volumes.
from there to see him here.
Yeah, yeah. So I actually kind of like what's this? I'm not gonna name his name, but we all know the guy who was traveling around Africa, showing around the cultures and everything that makes the motherland beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that he actually did people a big favor because now people actually get to see that Africa still has things to show for. Like there's no need to dilute what's already rich.
Yes.
So that's just me. I feel like people like we need more people like that because the motherland is very, 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 very rich, very rich.
I agree, guys. My only take on it, um, before I give my take, any other statements, guys?
No, from my side.
Nothing. Kudzi, Michael.
Nope.
Okay, sounds good. So first off, you guys' takes were was well put as always. My thing is this. I'm gonna end off on this note because everybody knows how I feel about Africa. All right, so I'm not gonna go there. But I will say this. I was talking to an elder one day, and they were like, you know what, us as African, us as black people need to stop blaming, West and white man. And I said, no. I said, look, I'm not one to ever try to disrespect my elders, but I'm going to have to stop you right there. And I told this elder, when you are pinpointing a problem, that's not blaming, that's pinpointing, that's exposing what the problem truly is. And it's
Yeah.
up to us, once we recognize what that problem is, to abolish it and to come up with a solution. So if we see these people are diluting the motherland, if we see these people are coming over and doing things they got no business doing, then it's up to us to protect the motherland in every way.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So it's not blaming when we are exploiting, or excuse me, exposing a problem that shouldn't exist to begin with. And that's my
Yes.
take on that. So yeah, the next question is: Are parents preparing us for the past or the future? Michael, Kudzi, Charles, the floor is yours.
Okay, this is a fun one.
Can I go first?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, our parents preparing us for the past or the future. So my take on this is I see it as parents are indeed preparing us for the future because they're fueling every single resource they have towards learning, education, right? And anything else that pertains with anything else that pertains with what can I say? Their skills that help them take the next step forward. So I would say, yeah, the parents are indeed helping us prepare for the future, but then they have a mindset that is stuck with the past, that they always have, that is consistently clashing with which way did I raise my child. Yeah, that's basically what I want to say.
Okay,
Sounds good.
so can I go next?
Yeah, of course, of
Because
course.
Yeah,
yeah,
go.
yeah. I heard something when Kudzi was talking, right, that I would wanna like add on to. I feel like parents have a perfect hint of the past for them to prepare us for the future. What am I saying? We are asking, are they preparing us for the future or the past? But then, like what you were saying, they are literally investing in us and putting everything they have in our education. But then he also went on to say that they have a mentality that is still stuck back there. And I feel like, honestly, in the times that we're living right now, that is perfect to keep us in line. You know what I'm saying? Because the world is going in some cases in a direction that is not for the better, and old is gold. That's what I believe. And people back then were raised in with a lot of morals, a lot of um reserved ways of doing things. So I believe that that is the perfect hint of of history to keep us in line. We must know our past, we must keep our values and morals alongside preparing us for the future. So I believe they have a perfect hint of everything. Alongside them preparing us for the future, they still every now and then try to bring the past and show us how things are supposed to be done. Because right now we are faced with a lot of different things, but then their hint of experience just draws us back to 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 what really matters, to what can help us become better people. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Sounds good.
Mm-hmm.
Michael, any thoughts?
No, I'm here. No, I'm listening to all you guys speak, and I love what we're saying, right? But in terms of, are they preparing us for the past or the future? They are supporting us. They have a vision for us. They see the old, like in our parents' days, like you would go to school, get a degree, get a job in a big company, and then you'd retire with a 401k plan, and then you'd be set for life, right? So this topic, I feel like it was more about asking us in the way that life is going, like there are new technologies, new things coming out, and kids these days are growing up seeing YouTubers make ton of money, or seeing people streaming or gaming and making money. So they ask, is getting a job or trying to live in the old way the right way? Am I going back, or am I adjusting to the future? Am I adapting to what's going to happen? Our parents, yes, they have the perfect vision for us. They are trying their best to support us, right? But when it comes in terms of what's going to happen in the future, they are just as clueless as most of anyone, right? Unless you're like Elon Musk, who knows that AI is going to be coming in the next 5 years. For most of us in developing countries, we don't know what the future is going to look like. So no, they aren't. I'm going to blatantly say it. They aren't preparing us for the future because they don't know what the future looks like for us. They have a plan, but they themselves are not too sure if the plan is going to work. They have the moral support and the resources to support us. They're trying their best. But when it comes to preparing us for the future, that is a question that you kind of have to solve yourself. You can't let them prepare the future for you. You can only take advantages of the cards they're giving you for that future. That's my take on it.
Oh, well said, Mike. For all those people who are tuned in to another edition of the RKCM podcast. I just want to say thank you guys so much for tuning in. And also, whether you're listening live or if you're listening to the pre-recorded version, thank you so much for being a part of the RHTV podcast family. And be on the lookout for our previous episodes of Too Real for the World podcast, the Too Real for the World podcast, hosted by Michael and Kudzi and produced by Charles, and upcoming episodes. So you guys be on the lookout for that. My honest take on what was just stated is I'm going to pinpoint something that Michael said. Parents are doing the best that they can. And I feel like that's what builds good chemistry between parents and youths, in regards to having a great relationship so they can progress, and make sure that, whether it's no matter how the parent is preparing you, I feel like they are doing the best that they can. And, at the end of the day, that should be something that should be looked at so that way all parties can progress and not just build a better future for our youths, not just for our parents, not just for the adults, but for our communities. So, yeah, that was my take on our parents preparing us for the past or the future. Last question of the day. Confidence. Are people born with it or can you build it? I will let you guys take on this topic and I'll end it off. The floor is you guys'. Charles, Michael, and Kudzi.
Is confidence built or are you born with it? I like this one. As a person who grew up with not that much confidence myself, I solely believe that if you look at the human biology, the brain is meant to adapt and grow, right? You might be born with certain traits that give you an advantage, but the brain is meant to adapt, right? Confidence only comes from the things that you know that you can do and that you strive towards. If I was short, right? If I
You're
were
not that tall,
short,
bro. You're not that tall.
yeah, but I'm not that short either, am I, Charles?
Okay,
So,
Michael.
so it's if I was short, I wouldn't be trying to play basketball, right? If I was tall, I wouldn't be going for bowling, I think. So I don't know what I can say for that one. But I'm just saying that you to have confidence, you have to play to the cards that you're good at, right? You can't just go where you know that I clearly have a disadvantage here and then expect to build confidence. You're just going to tear yourself down. Now, there are some rare cases. I have a friend. His name is, no, I have a friend of a friend. His name is Kian. He plays basketball. But if you see his size compared to the people that he's playing against and how he's doing, you can actually tell that this is a rare case where someone like that has put in so much work that they have to meet the standard. It's just a given at this point. Now, for most people, that's not the case. You can't just do that. For confidence to come to you, you have to play to the cards that you are good at. That's just me.
Kudzi, Charles, you guys want to chime in?
Yeah. So I'm coming up next. So the topic was confidence. Are we born with it or is it just there, right? Reggie?
Yeah, it's basically, are you born with it or is it something that, it comes, like, basically, do you build on it? Like, are you born with it or do you basically grow into being a confident person? Yeah.
Personally, I think that people build on it. But then there are rare cases where you have someone who is just normally confident. I wouldn't exactly know what's their mind state, but then the normal person, they have doubts, they push things that they want to chase onto a pedestal. They tell themselves that it takes a lot to reach this goal. So in their mind, they have a lot of steps that they have in order to reach that goal. And then you have the person that just has inherent confidence. They don't see the process. They don't see the steps. They just go for it. They just do it. Example of a basketball player. Obviously, Charles might laugh because he's my favorite basketball player. Charles, I think you might know who I'm about to refer to.
No, I got no idea.
Huh?
Tell me, bro. I got no idea. Tell me who.
So the person I'm talking about is Steph Curry.
Of course.
So the reason why I brought him up is because of his confidence. He's the shortest player on the court. Or maybe sometimes he's not the shortest, depending on the game that he's playing. But statistically speaking, with the people that he's playing with, he's considered one of the shortest. And that doesn't stop him. He goes on the court, he shoots every shot, and he makes, let's say, 90% of the time, or 95% of the time, he'll make the shot. And when people ask him, what was on your mind? He tells them, nothing. He just shot the shot. That's the inherent confidence. Or maybe he built it over the years. So what I'm trying to say is people should try to forget the process and move with the confidence. Whether you're born with it or whether you feel like you inherently have it. That's what I'm just trying to say.
Thank you so much, Kudzi. Charles, the floor is yours, man.
All right. Okay, I agree with what, for once, I agree with what Michael was saying. Why? Because I also believe that confidence is something that I believe that the human brain can is something that can adapt. You know what I'm saying? So, like Kudzi was saying, you can be born with confidence, but then trust me, with life, there are a lot of things you can predict. That confidence could be crushed, but then it's up to you to determine, do you still want to go on? You know what I'm saying? So the things that are around you can determine if you're a confident person or not, and who you are as a whole. Are you a person who doesn't give up? Are you a person who pushes forward? So I believe that confidence is something that you just build yourself. Confidence is something that you just generate and just feed and just nurture over time, so that you become a completely confident person. It just doesn't happen overnight. You don't just decide to shoot 3-pointers when everyone's telling you not to. You believe in your skill. You're not basing it off luck. You know what I'm saying? Like Kudzi's example, you're not basing it off luck. You know you're good. Why? Because you've worked on yourself, you've worked on that particular skill, so therefore you're confident. So I believe confidence is directly linked to your ability to do whatever you're confident in, or your like your belief in yourself. So therefore I believe it's something that you build up over time. You can always be more confident today than you were yesterday.
Thank you so much for that, Charles. I'm going to end off with this final topic. And I want to say thanks to Michael for bringing these phenomenal topics up for this show today. I want to go to a little bit of a story time. There was a person I knew who was born with confidence. You know, all the elders who helped raise this person, you know, said that this child was active, outgoing. Then the environment that this child was growing up in, he started realizing that there was other confident people, other loud people, other people who were more confident than he was. So we started stepping back a little bit. That confidence started diminishing. As time went on and this person started to know who they truly were and what they wanted to accomplish in life, they started pushing away all the naysayers, pushing away all these people who were, he felt like was trying to diminish his light. And as he got older, those same people were like, hey, why don't we hang out anymore? That person said, well, because, you know, you were negative to me. Every time I felt like I could do something, I was confident enough to do something that I know I could accomplish, that was best for me. You always told me I couldn't or I can't. So I didn't want nothing to do with you because I only This is my life, and I only want to put people in my life who's going to help me progress, not diminish me at all. The sad part about this particular individual, time went on, and that hatred towards these particular individuals who were always diminishing them grew stronger and stronger to the point to where this person started making it about me and not we. That person started losing not only the people that they X'd out of their life that was diminishing them, but also the people that helped this person progress. So this person has to have a reality check. I can't allow that confidence that I grew up with, that I always had, to be diminished at all, but I also can't allow it to be my worst enemy. And this particular individual that I'm talking about is me. I don't want anybody to end up being like how I was, thinking about me and not we. I don't want anybody to have confidence and then lose it because of naysayers being involved in their lives. I don't want anybody to allow those naysayers to get the best of them, leading them to grow hatred to the point to where they're becoming something that they're not, becoming egotistical, becoming a person that's pushing away all their loved ones. I don't want that for anybody. I want you to be confident, but in a way to where you are helping yourself be the best you that you can be, and helping yourself, making sure that you are pushing your community and everybody in your community to be the best them that they can be as well. And also just making sure that your communities, when I say communities, I'm talking about the African, I'm talking about the melanated, or as they say in the West, the Black communities, progress on all accounts. And I just want you guys to live life and be happy. So confidence can always be a phenomenal thing, but it can also be our own worst enemy if we allow others, or if we allow ourselves to allow it to become our worst enemy. So that was a story that I wanted to, tell people. I appreciate the topic again, Mike, Kudzi, and Charles. You guys made some great points today. And without further ado, we're going to open up the floor for our final thoughts from the other hosts, Charles, Kudzi, and Michael. Guys, the floor is yours.
So I'm just gonna say, as a human being, you just need a purpose. You just need a direction in life. It's all about building a character that you know works for you, and that is going to not be, what can I say? I'm gonna just have to take this back so I can articulate this correctly. You just have to build a character that is you, but doesn't hurt others, if you get what I'm trying to say. Be that person that makes a change, not just to you, but to others in a good way. That's just all I have to say. Kudzi, what do you have to say?
Yeah, my thoughts on it is just stop thinking too much on what to do and putting things on a pedestal. This is what eventually has people doubting themselves in their confidence. They need to, what can I say? They need to stop thinking that they need these multiple steps in order to reach their goals, when what they're trying to do is, that's all.
All right. I don't have much to say, but that I just hope that everyone can be proud of themselves. Just make sure that whatever you do, you're proud of what you're doing and you're happy doing it. Not lose yourself in the process, and at the same time, try by all means to help the next person. And let's make this place better for ourselves and everyone around us.
I want to say thanks so much to Kudzi, Charles, and Michael for being extraordinary hosts on another great episode of RKCM. For all the people who have listened live, for the people that are listening to the pre-recorded version, I can't thank you enough for tuning in on all of our platforms and being a part of the RHTV podcast family. For all those people who have been in support of us since day one, love you, thankful for you guys, and we will see you guys next time when you guys are
Okay.
tuning into another
Before
episode of RKCM.
before we end this, I just like to say, check out our YouTube channel, and like Michael likes to say, sub-sponsor us.
Sub-sponsor.
You guys heard it here first, and that YouTube channel is the RHTV Podcast Network. And for all those people who have tuned in, again, we thank you guys so much. I'm Reggie Haynes. I'm signing off. Peace and love.
All right. Thank you, guys.